Hello, I am the Gentlemanly Gamer.
And I'm Zane Taicho.
Welcome to the Undisputed Nerds YouTube channel. You're about to watch a clip from our podcast, which we do every week, and you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all of your other favourite podcast platforms.
Don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hope you enjoy the clip.
And I can already see the chat is going off. So if you are in the chat, please do not add spoilers to the chat, or maybe if you're watching the recording on this on YouTube or on your favorite podcast platform, please don't put spoilers in the comments. It's not fair to the others. But again, as Gigi says, what we'll probably do is we'll give you our sort of thoughts and our sort of review before going into those spoilers, as we normally do. So we'll normally give you our rating, which is either undisputed, meaning it's good, or disputed, which means it's not so good.
Exactly. What did you think, Zane?
For me, it was undisputed. I think this was absolutely fantastic on so many different levels. As a movie, I thoroughly enjoyed this. As an experience, I loved it. Cinematography, the imagery work, it was just absolutely gorgeous to watch. And I don't know if you had the figures just there, but one of the things I really wanted to know was what was the budget for this movie, because it looked so good. Dare I say, probably as good as the Infinity War and Endgame. You know, that sort of grand scale.
It was 200 million. Not
200 million.
Not including the hefty marketing fees. So, yeah, 200 million, which it's going to make back apparently pretty much in the first weekend. So
I could see that, yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah, I agree with you. So as far as this is concerned, as far as this film is concerned, without spoilers, I thought there were some plot holes, which I were glaringly obvious, which we'll talk about kind of when we get to the actual spoiler part of it. I thought it was really good. I am like you. I extremely enjoyed it. Talking visually for a minute. So
yep.
I thought that you are correct. I've read an interview with Feige before this where they said that this was the first Marvel movie for a long time where they actually really focused on the 3D. Because one of the things that they appreciated was that the origin movie for Doctor Strange, the story was a little basic and a little flat, but visually it looked fantastic with the Mirror of Universe and all this other kind of stuff, and they wanted to expand on that. They definitely did with this. Like, this was a visually gorgeous film that really did, like, sometimes I will say with the 3D, it kind of blended in a little bit towards the end, where I was kind of like, I don't know whether that's a good sign or a bad sign. I didn't really notice the 3D. Some of the stuff, you know, towards the beginning, what we've seen in the trailers, like the fight he has with the Shumagorov-esque tentacle monster, which is in the trailers, guys. That was very like visually stunning, and the 3D looked amazing in that. Later on in the film, some of the other fights were kind of like it kind of all just looked a bit kind of non-3D and a bit samey, but I don't know whether that was just me getting used to the 3D and you know, having it established.
I see what you mean.
Cinematographer-wise, I don't know whether you noticed this or not, but like, so this film was directed by Sam Raimi, who is famous obviously for The Evil Dead, but he's also famous for Spider-Man. Most famous probably for Spider-Man. I don't know whether you found this or not, but like the way that he shot New York at the beginning, like that. So there, you know, in the beginning of this film, without spoilers, Doctor Strange is going about his business basically and being Doctor Strange in his day to day, and like the way that some of the establishing shots of New York and like the
aerial shots,
even there's a sequence on the side of a building in this film which was really reminiscent of like the Dr. Octopus fight in Spider-Man 2. And like it all just looked really visually like, I was like, oh, that's a Sam Raimi like superhero movie. Like that looks exactly like his vision of New York in Spider-Man. And it was kind of nice to see. It's almost very, the color palette is really like enhanced for like, almost like
Absolutely.
he's trying to make it that kind of like hyper real comic booky feel. And it was really striking to me where I was like, am I watching like a Spider-Man film or a Doctor Strange film with that? That's really wild. As far as performances are concerned in this, I think Benedict Cumberbatch he's always great as Doctor Strange, and he is at the moment, I would argue, he's probably the figurehead of Marvel behind Spider-Man. He is the one that seems to carry, because interestingly, Star-Lord seems to have taken more of a backseat now. I don't know whether that's just due to Chris Pratt's controversy in life or whatever however you want to look at it. But like, Cumberbatch is the most reminiscent of Tony Stark and has the kind of weighted charisma of Tony Stark. Obviously nobody's ever going to replace Downey Jr., but it just feels to me like he's more of a leader of the MCU than anyone apart from Spider-Man maybe at this point in time.
I get the same feeling as well. At the end of this movie, I was like, they've pinned him as the figurehead, like you said. Like this.
Also, yeah, I don't know whether you noticed this with this film as well. Again, I won't talk about spoilers, but we will in this soon. He feels much softer in this film, and I don't mean in terms of like power or ability or anything like that. I mean in terms of kind of personality. Like he's way more gentle and kind in this film than he was in the other. Like, we're well past the mark, so I can swear now. But like, he was a dick in some of the early movies. Like in Doctor Strange 1, he's an ass. Then in Infinity War and Endgame, he's not really likable. Like you can respect him because of how talented he is. Sorry. Spider-Man, he starts to kind of soften, and you're like, oh, okay, he's trying to help the kid out and stuff like that. But then, like in this one, he's just really like friendly and nice and like approachable, exactly. And it's like it is I don't know whether it's just an evolution of that character and a shift now, but you can tell that they are really focusing on making him likable, to the point where it's like, oh yeah, this is a guy I can root for. Like, this is somebody who's really, really, I would want to see. I don't know whether they did that because they also wanted to make the other Doctor Stranges, variants, spoilers. I don't know whether they wanted to make them look harsher or what, but like, yeah, I thought he was great. Elizabeth Olsen is the MVP in this. She was amazing, and we'll talk about that later. I cannot, for the love of me, pronounce her name, and so I won't. So I apologize. But the actress who played America Chavez was excellent in this. Like, really good, really likable. A great new introduction to the universe. Also, her powers look amazing on screen. Her star warping powers just look so good when she's opening stuff. Anyway, and who else do we have? I will say Rachel McAdams did not have enough to do again. I feel like.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we can talk about it as spoilers, but I don't think she had enough to do. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, sound-wise as well, the sound was incredible on this as well. Like the noises that from the universe-bending stuff, like when they were
the sound effects. Sort of.
Yes, the sound. Yeah, exactly.
Not so much the music.
Okay, this is hard because I can't talk about that without a spoiler, like a massive spoiler.
Okay.